Thank you for joining us today on the program.
You're welcome.
Okay, so now this call by the governor of Kano State, is interpreted in different ways, different perspective about this matter, actually. How does this sit with you?
Well, to me, it's the same old thing that Nigerians have been saying. The more you look, the less you see. If you recall, it is the president himself that I think sometimes in 2016, around, is it February, that the president had said in the peak of the Hardmen attacks across the nation, especially within the Middle Belt areas, that the president said those that are coming to do the attack are mostly from Libya and 10 other countries. By December of the same year, October, I think, the governor of Kaduna State also said that those coming to do the attack, especially in southern Kaduna, that was at the peak of the southern Kaduna attacks of 2016, that they were also coming from foreign countries, neighboring West African countries, and in fact about 16 countries he mentioned. And he went ahead to say that he had paid those that are coming here, traced them and paid them off. That has stirred a lot of controversy. Now we're hearing another tune from the governor of Kano State that those coming into the country to kill and maim and destroy are actually herdsmen from outside the country. And he went ahead to even suggest that he is proposing to the federal government to find a way of reviewing the ECOWAS protocol that will prohibit the free incoming or inflow of these killer herdsmen. Now, the question is, going back to the president himself, when he made this statement, it was in a chat with Christina Mampo. And when he mentioned that these people coming to kill in the country, these herdsmen, that they were coming from outside the country, particularly he mentioned Libya. But what shocked me, and I believe it shocked virtually everybody, was that Christine Amampo did not ask the question, what have you done as the president of the country about foreign people that are coming into your country to kill your citizens? It was a surprising thing that that question did not come. And so everybody, every Nigerian that is still seeing the level of massacre in the country today is still having that question in his mind. What is being done about these killer herdsmen that are ravaging around the country today? And so when Ganduje comes up with this statement that the killer herdsmen, he agreed in his own statement, he agreed that these killer herdsmen are heavily armed. And as they come into the country, they pass across the communities with their cattle, then they have clashes with the farmers or with communities across which they travel. And so that is why he's coming up with this statement. But to me, I think it is all part of the gimmicks. You remember last time I was here, we talked about the Ruga settlement, where the federal government was proposing to establish Uruga all over the nation. By the proposal, they were supposed to establish 6 Uruga in all the states of the federation.
Which is part of why he made this recent comment.
And of course, pardon?
That was part of why this fresh comment was made by him, such that they can be catered for with that Ruga system. Perhaps that will feed into your response. Go ahead.
Well, that's what I'm saying. That is the same thing. The governor of Kano State made this statement when he went to commission the establishment or the building of a proposed 200 units of Ruga settlements in Kano State. And he made the statement that he wants all Fulanis to gather to Kano State so that they can be housed in that Ruga. So how is it different from the proposal by the federal government that was made of establishing the Ruga settlements all over the nation? And to my mind, this is still part of an agenda in this country. From the time these killer herdsmen started coming into the country.
Mr. Saki, let me ask, before you move on to your next point,
they have
when you say it's part of an agenda, what exactly is? Is it the call to stop the influx of herdsmen from other nationals? What exactly?
No. It's part of the agenda. The agenda is that Fulani all over West African sub-region have been allowed into this country. And there are so many in the country right now in virtually every community. And so to talk about stopping them from coming in is just crying when the head is already cut off. To me, the agenda is that the agenda which I've been talking about is the agenda of Fulanization of the country, the recolonization of the country by an exclusive ethnic group, the Fulanis. And so if the Fulanis are already in the country, nobody is talking about what will happen to those that have already come into the country in their hundreds of thousands. We have hundreds of thousands of them already in the country, and they have continued to kill, and they have continued to invade communities all over Nigeria. In fact, most of those communities that have been invaded have been taken over by these Fulanis. Right now, as I'm talking, in my own part of the state, that is Southern Kaduna State, I can name several communities like the Atikar Chiefdom, Zangan District. About 11 communities have been displaced from 2013 up till now. Those people in that place are staying in IDPs outside their own homes, their ancestral homes. And no effort whatsoever has been done by the government to return those people back to their homes. They cannot get to their farms. They cannot get back.
Just to get clarification.
If you look at what is going on, it is ditto for several other communities
just to get clarification.
In Benue and all over the Middle Belt.
Right. Just to get clarification, when you say that it's Fulani herdsmen that carry out these attacks, are you also saying that they are the ones, the Fulani herdsmen are the ones coming from outside of a country? And also, when you say that this is a part of a gimmick, I wonder, what do you expect the governor to say, for example? Because if he says that they need to stop the influx of Fulani herdsmen, what more do you want? But I'd like you to start from, the part of the attacks. Are you also alluding to the fact that these Fulani herdsmen that are attacking these communities, as you've said, are coming from outside of the country?
Well, there is no doubt about the fact that Fulanis that have been killing are coming from outside the country. But it is also a fact that those that come outside the country collude with elements of the Fulanis that are inside the country to perpetrate these atrocities, the massacres that you see around the country. And it is also a fact that they have their sponsors inside the country, highly placed people that are sponsoring these activities of the herdsmen that come from outside and the ones that and when they come into the country, they now find those ones that are inside, they collude together and they are sponsored to carry out these atrocities that we see in the country. Let me give you an example here. You see, I would talk from my own part of the state. From the 12th of May, just last month, a community called Gonarogo was attacked, where 17 people, it was well reported, where 17 people were killed in one night. And this attack continued from one community to another until about 7 or 8 communities were completely sacked. They are now in IDP camps and during this rainy season. And in fact, most of them are scattered. They cannot go back to their places. And this attack continued again from the 18th to the 24th. In a place called Kalla and environs, where more than 15 communities were attacked by these herdsmen. And all these communities also were displaced. And when we reported these attacks, it is the police that came up and said that the attacks that were reported, that it was fake news. We had to go there and meet the IDPs, those that were displaced, were in uncompleted primary schools scattered all over those communities. And even the dead bodies that were killed, the people that were killed in their communities, the police could not assist them to go and retrieve the dead bodies. So this is how it has been going on. And the last time I was here, I talked about the establishment
Mr. Saki,
of
we do get the point, quite all right. But we're trying to get across to Mohammed Labar, who is the chairman of Mieti, that's Macban, Southwest chairman, such that we could also get his views on some of these issues that you've raised pointedly against them, to see whether or not their views align with that of the governor, who is saying, look, it's about time that they stop that influx. And stopping that influx, with respect to some of the issues, challenges we've also raised, now, if or when government does move, if that his call will be heeded, because many expect that now that they're talking about Ruga, then you might have that sorted. Do you also expect, as a result of this call, movement across the country? Because if they say, look, we have a right to move, is there going to be a conflict in that regard?
Yeah, the call, like I said, the call by the governor to stop the influx of the herdsmen across into Nigeria is a very excellent call, but it should go further than that. And I don't know whether that call, whether the government is together, whether the state governors are in tune with the presidency, or each one of them is doing what he's doing in his own state. But one thing I know is that I have already said it here, that there are hundreds of thousands of these killer herdsmen, which the governor has confirmed that when they come in, they are heavily armed. And there is no doubt about that. But what I want the government to do is to go further, not only to stop them, because they are already inside the country, and they are already killing Nigerians. And Nigerians are already groaning. And many Nigerians, in their hundreds of thousands, if not millions, have been displaced. Many have been killed. And the worst of it is that none is being prosecuted. None has been prosecuted or convicted. And so the government will show more commitment if the government goes ahead to fish out these herdsmen and bring them to book, or flush them out to where they ever came from, especially those that have occupied communities. I can't imagine that killer herdsmen will go into a community, kill children, kill women, slashed open, rip open tummies of pregnant women, and destroy the community.
Just one moment, Mr. Saki.
Over that community,
just one moment,
and nothing
Mr.
is
Saki.
done about it.
Mr. Saki, just one moment. First of all, the federal government had since, reviewed the comment you made the other time when you said the federal government was trying to put up Ruga settlements all over the place. They have since said, look, the program they are coming up with is the National Livestock Transformation Plan. So let that one be laid to rest, and I'm sure you'll agree with that one as well. And secondly, when you over and over again, you have mentioned Fulani herdsmen, Fulani herdsmen. One can say that criminality is criminality, irrespective of who. So when you begin to mention a specific class or category of people, it seems that you are setting people against them anywhere they are in Nigeria. It is true what the governor has said, that there are herdsmen coming into Nigeria that shouldn't be coming in. So question that you may want to answer, or that may be given to you, hopefully when we are able to get the other side as well, we'll get a balance. But what you may want to answer at this point is, what do you expect the security agencies to do now? For instance, the West African Protocol, Free Movement Protocol, is more than 40 years old already. Now, and he is calling for a review. If that review is going to come and you are aware of anything that needs to be changed, what would you want changed in that protocol?
Let me just start it here, that truly, if you have not heard that Nigerians are becoming more frustrated with what is going on. When I mention here Fulani herdsmen, I'm not the only one mentioning Fulani herdsmen. And I have all the reasons to mention Fulani herdsmen. But what the media will want is that the media is stopping Nigerians from saying where the problem is coming from. if it is coming from a particular ethnic group, we call them by their name. You cannot call a spade
So,
by any other name.
Mr. Sake, just one moment. You should also know that there are also law-abiding Fulani herdsmen all over Nigeria. Yes, there are those who are criminal, but you also know that there are also herdsmen who are not Fulani herdsmen who have also been engaged in criminal activities. So when you mention, this conversation has been going on all over the place. So if there are law-abiding Fulani herdsmen, shouldn't they be given their own respect?
Well, have you seen any Yoruba people going around the country and everybody is complaining, killing people? Have you seen any thief people or Efik or Idoma people or Igbo people going around the country and everybody is complaining about them? So why can't we mention them? Yes, indeed, there are criminal Fulanis. And let me tell you, in my own place, like I keep saying, there are our own local Fulanis that are also victims of this criminality or terrorist attacks. They kidnap their wives and they collect ransom. But let me tell you, there is difference between criminality and terrorism as it is happening right now. When you in the media decide to call this thing farmers herders clash every time, you actually are confusing the whole thing, and it actually will not bring a solution on time, because the Fulanis that have been going around killing in my community, they don't have cattle. They don't rear cattle at the time they go to attack. They go to attack in the night, in the hours that everybody is sleeping. And when they go to attack, it's not criminality. It's not like the banditry that we are talking about. Banditry is to go and steal, you know, and also cattle and so on. And you can kill because you want to steal.
All right, then. So
we don't steal anything.
We do appreciate
to kill and to maim and to destroy and to displace and take over the community.
All right, Mr. Sake, we need to go at this point in time, but we do appreciate your thoughts and your time. But just to also clear the air that when you say the media, well, we invited you in the first place to air your views, and that's a mark of respect to your views and what you stand for. We also did invite Alhaji Muhammad Labar, who is the chairman of Macban Southwest. He did agree to be on the program today, but we don't know why he didn't make it. So we respect people's views. So when you say the media, it may send the wrong signal. We ensure that we utmost respect to everyone, and of course with the law, we stick to all of those. So thank you very much indeed for your time this morning. We do appreciate that. So we're back in a moment. Join us again.